Seneca Falls, New York, 1848. A convention was held by Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucretia Mott, and many other active feminists in Seneca Falls that launched the suffrage movement.
We gather here today as representatives of all women across the nation to make change for women's rights. The preamble in my model, similar to the Declaration of Independence, features the proclamation. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all those men are fecal.
All who agree, raise your cup and say aye.
Aye.
On day 2 of the convention, many new people joined the meeting, including men.
Today we are having a public meeting, so more women and men will be joining us in our discussion. Many of them disagree with our views, so we will have to debate. Elizabeth has written the Declaration of Sentiments and Grievances, and it will be signed by as many people in our assembly as we can get to sign it. It will also attempt to pass 12 resolutions, 11 which will be specific rights for women, and the 9th being the right to the elected franchise.
Women are constitutionally unfit for public and business meetings. This event must be boycotted.
The rule of chairing the meeting is considered unacceptable for women. My husband James will be leading the meeting.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We will pass these 12 resolutions today, excluding the 9th, which inappropriately allows women to the sacred right to the elective franchise.
Now that's hardly fair. Why should women be excluded from doing something we're equally capable of? We will pass all 12 resolutions, including the 9th.
There are 300 people at this meeting. Most of us are not in favor of this specific right for women. Whoever is may sign their names on our new declaration, with the risk of penalty.
Now may we please have everyone who is in favor sign our modified declaration and our 12 resolutions.
I ain't signing this.
Nope.
I will sign this paper.
Soon enough, many people were criticizing the convention.
This is unbelievable. This immense amount of ridicule and criticism towards our conventions is unbearable. It will start women thinking and men too, and when men and women think about a new question, the first step in progress is taken.
The Declaration of Sentiments was now the blueprint for the women's rights and suffrage movement, and eventually had the whole world's attention. Stanton and many other women dedicated the rest of their lives to fighting for the right to vote. On May 15, 1869, in New York City, Elizabeth Cady Stanton founded the National Woman Suffrage Association, or NWSA, along with Susan B. Anthony.
Now that we've created NWSA, it's time we start our newspaper, The Revolution, to spread awareness and fight for our rights. We'll also include our rights to education, divorce, and suffrage.
Agreed. Our motto will be principle, not policy, justice, not favors, men their rights and nothing more, women their rights and nothing less.
Their paper was becoming more popular, but was bought by Laura Curtis Bullard on May 22, 1870. The Revolution became less of a hit and didn't thrive. It stopped in February 1872. Susan B. Anthony did not give up and voted illegally in 1872 and got arrested.
To vote, whether it is legal or not. No one is going to take women in politics seriously unless we have the right to vote, and we'll never have the right to vote unless we protest. I'm determined, and I will not give up even if it means getting arrested. Organize, agitate, educate must be our war cry.
Yeah!
2 weeks later, Anthony was caught, arrested, and fined $100 for illegally voting.
I refuse! This is my civil right. All men and women are created equal. I shall never pay $1 of your unjust penalties. Ow!
Susan B. Anthony continued with her empowering speech and lived the rest of her life fighting, but died in 1906. It was only a few years after her death when women's rights to vote were endorsed. This brings us to 1916, when Alice Paul formed the National Woman's Party. Before Alice Paul's new group, there was a group called the NAWSA. This group's leadership dissatisfied Paul in many ways.
The direction and leadership of NAWSA is very disappointing. So I shall lead you, a group of women from NAWSA, to form a new organization, the Congressional Union. It will put pressure on the Democratic Party to secure our right of women to the suffrage. It is better, as far as getting the vote is concerned, I believe, to have a small united group than an immense debating.
Alice Paul's group led pickets at the White House and Congress. They continued to fight despite the fact that America was now in World War I. Many of them were imprisoned.
Now,
Police, it's a code red. It's a code red.
We order you to seize.
We refuse. This is our constitutional right. We women of America tell you that America is not a democracy. 20 million women are denied the right to vote.
Paul was arrested in October 1917, along with the other women that were part of the CU. They went on hunger strikes but were force-fed through tubes. They were finally released in November. President Wilson stated that he supported the amendment in January 1918. Congress debated and finally passed the amendment in 1919. The ratification was accomplished in 1920.
Let's take it back to 1848, into Neck Falls. We were just a woman who couldn't do it all. We were mad, we were sad, we were boiling with rage. We decided it's enough, so we had to make some change. We got tough, we made signs, we wouldn't let them go. After all, we are women and we had to let them know. We protested and protested up and down the street. And even when they locked us up, we refused to eat. The sexist politicians would try to stand in our way, but they knew within power we would still slay that day.
Women's strike! Women's strike! Women's strike! Women's strike! Feminists! Feminists! We are feminists! 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 We are feminists! Dun, 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 dun.
Yo, what up is our PDP? And I am from the sea, but I do not agree with this non-democracy. And now I pass it on to my homie Alice P.
Well, I'm a Alice P, and I can guarantee that women wouldn't get to vote if it weren't for me. But we're not done fighting because we're not treated equally. Hey!
Currently, it's hard for women to have a say in government.
Although the laws are technically equal, only 23% of the government is women, which is less than a fourth.
The first state to have 2 female senators in 1990.
We are making progress!